Anyway, what I was saying is that I think that that's really going to attract what it is that you really want. If you, like I said, solidify what it is that you really expect in a relationship, what you think you deserve, and what it is that you want. So you're really taking strides when it comes to attracting that partner in that relationship that you really want. And of course, a relationship that is healthy and loving and stable, right? So as I was shuffling the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse popped out for your career and money. So it seems like you're overcoming some really sort of tough energy. I'm feeling with the Queen of Swords there, I feel more like you have been really tough on yourself. So if you feel like, you know, you should have accomplished more, you feel like you need to be doing more or more successful, whatever it is, having more money, being better with your money, anything related to money or your career, your job, I feel like you're expecting more and you've been really hard on yourself, but I feel like that's coming to an end. I feel like it's taken you some time to overcome those feelings and those thoughts about yourself, but it looks like that's finally kind of subsiding. So let's see what else we got. Okay, main energy is the Five of Cups. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Hanged Man in reverse. And we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so like I said, Five of Cups, you may be feeling some energy, like you're feeling like down and out. Maybe there's some losses that you recently experienced or can experience in February as we move through February. More than anything, I'm feeling like try not to get too down on yourself for whatever mistakes you make when it comes to your finances. Like if you overspent money, or, you know, if you don't have that great of a relationship with money, where you're not good with money, if you messed up at work, or if things at work aren't going so well, I think has a potential, all of that has the potential to really affect you. But the King of Swords being here is to me a sort of encouragement, like, you know, you need to assert yourself and you need to just kind of take the losses and move forward. Don't let that distract your vision from what it is that you want to manifest in your career or money-wise, you know. We have the Hanged Man in reverse here. So I think even though it's been hard for you, you're going to eventually get to a point where you're going to want to do something about it, especially with the King of Swords here as well. It's like you're going to want to act on whatever has been affecting you negatively. You're not just going to let it sort of like put you down and leave you down, right? We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, so it can go both ways. You can be feeling really, really bad, or you could be feeling like, okay, I'm going to overcome this. And if we go back to the other readings, I feel more like there's going to be a sense of empowerment for yourself. So you're going to take on the energy of the King of Swords, and you're really going to see things for what they really are. And a lot of times, you know, when we experience hard situations or we go through grief or disappointment, it's really hard for us to see clearly and to see, you know, the truth. A lot of times we, especially as Pisces, we will tend to kind of wallow a little bit and allow ourselves to remain in this like intense, very emotional energy sometimes. But I think that overall we're going to use our experiences and we're going to use it to benefit us, right? So whatever we messed up on, whatever is not going right in our job, all of that, it's just going to motivate us. But first we have to see things for what they really are, and I think that is kind of what's going to get us down, because we're going to see like, wow, like I hate my job, you know, like something like that. Or you're going to see like, wow, I really messed up and I keep messing up and I keep doing this or you could even be self-sabotaging yourself for whatever reason. Like little things like that. Any actions or behaviors that really affect your job, or your finances negatively. I think that the first step is going to be probably the hardest, which is to acknowledge those things. And then we're going to move into the Hanged Man in reverse, and we're going to move towards doing something about it, right? The Hanged Man in reverse isn't a card speaking to too much action. It's more of a card speaking to you understanding things after spending some time sort of allowing things to flow and happen right in front of you. And then it's almost like after you taking that pause, you're like, okay, I'm ready to do something about it. But you haven't actually done anything, if that makes sense. I feel for February, there's an energy of you more than anything, just seeing things and acknowledging things, and then that prompting you to want to do something about it. But there is no action yet. Let's see. I see some of you speaking up, right? If there's something going on at work that's really getting to you and it's really affecting you. And let me tell you, I have experienced some very toxic work environments. I have experienced and heard of very abusive work environments. And no matter who you are, it takes a toll on you, right? And for a lot of us, we don't even realize how much it's really affecting us. But I see for February, if you are in that situation, that's when you'll acknowledge and understand, like, wow, this is really affecting me. I feel really crappy. Or something is going to happen where you're deeply affected at the workplace. And that's going to prompt you to, like I said, like turn that light on and really see things for what they are. And I think some of you may either quit your job, change jobs because of that. But regardless, you're going to be prompted to do something about it. Okay, we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, and that is a repeating card. So I see very much that Emperor energy through your readings, and that's kind of been the theme of your readings, of you stepping into your power when it comes to bettering yourself or bettering your situation, whether that be love or for your career, job, or finances as well. So I'm gonna pull an advice card, an oracle card for you for the month of February. I have no idea what keeps beeping. I just changed the batteries for my smoke detectors, so I'm wondering now what it is. When it's not one thing, it's something else, right? Alright, so let's see what we got for Pisces. For February, we have release. Very important, right? So I think for a lot of us, especially because of that first reading, we are moving away from things that no longer are serving us, right? And so we've already started the process of releasing a lot of things. And I think for a lot of us, whether it's conscious or unconscious, I think that you have started this process. And I think ultimately it's great for you. What I see for February is, like I said, a lot of seeing things for what they really are. And I think you're going to be, February I think is a little bit of a pivotal month, I think, for Pisces, because we're going to have to move forward from this space where we see what it is that we need to do, right? And then, we have to act. So now we have to act, right? So that's, in that way, it's pivotal. So what does it mean when you have to act on your observations, act on your realizations, and act on the messages you've received, and also just basically like tuning into yourself and finding out some really important things about yourself, and being honest with yourself. So what does that mean? It means, I think that you are going to have to release a lot of what's not working for you, like I said. And that includes people for some of us. But, you know, when we lose people in our life, when we leave people in our life, when we leave situations, that ultimately frees up space for the people who we're meant to attract into our lives, right? That leaves space for growth, and for people who are going to support that growth and support our happiness, right? So while it may be painful and it may be hard, like we saw in the readings, for you to overcome that, I think ultimately it always works out in our favor, right? So I think that that's something that you should keep in mind for February. I think that's really going to help you to understand that release can be painful. However, it's needed for you to move forward in your growth and your overall spiritual growth and well-being, towards the people and spaces and situations that support your happiness. So that's your reading, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely rest of the month, and hopefully I will be back in a few for the mid-month readings for February. So see you then.